Hey, how you guys doing? It's produced from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Who Day Over 40 podcast for long time, long suffering Cincinnati Bengals fans. Who day, everybody? Well, the last recording was the first 48. If you're a fan of that show, we had the first 48 hours of Bengal free agency. And now we're at the week that was, as this week has gone through. No real Bengals news recording a little bit into Saturday afternoon. Back as my partner, Big Hutch, man. What's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, so Hutch has been away from the show for a bit, so we're kind of getting back. We're trying to go do a week recap where he can get his thoughts and opinions out there on some of the larger things that have happened, but also kind of mixing in some of the newer stuff. You know, if you're on YouTube, you see his title is that the Bengals are playing for third. I'm sure we'll get to that in a little bit. But the week it started off, before free agency started, maybe an hour or two before, that T. Higgins had requested a trade. Now, as I said on the other podcast, he requested a trade. He didn't demand a trade. And good luck getting Mike Brown to do anything that he doesn't want to do. What was your thought on T's agent essentially trying to get a trade before free agency started?
That's what you're paying for, and that's any way to get more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. When you playing your Bengals are playing their game, you got to play your game, and hopefully you get or two commas somewhere.
It's really that the agent, David Mulligetta, has, by his clients, he really just has a system in place where he wants a lot of upfront cash. The Bengals being a mom and pop organization, not a conglomerate that's owned by a person, don't necessarily fully have a bunch of upfront cash, but more than likely, if you sign with the Bengals for 3 years, $30 million, you'll see every dime of it, just the way that it's structured. So there was always going to be a structure issue in regards to the Bengals. But to be fair, the Bengals' way of doing it is much better because he just had Calvin Ridley as one of his clients too, and he signed a ridiculous numbered deal. Calvin Ridley not as good as T. Higgins, older than T. Higgins, and um, he got a deal, where the total number is this great number, but he ain't seeing
Like
no end
eight
of that contract.
million dollars.
Yeah, there's not a chance he's seeing anywhere near any of that money,
But how
but he
much up?
got,
But I said up front, though.
yeah, but he got, that's what I'm saying. Like, you only got to look at really as the signing bonus. So that if it's a 3 year deal, more than likely it's 2 years at whatever that signing bonus is. And,
Mm,
I'm not paying Calvin Ridley that money. Would I pay it to T. Higgins? Maybe, probably. And the way free agency is shaken out now for the Bengals, I mean, they still got money to spend, Hodge.
They do. They're the Bengals are shedding kind of people. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, really?
Well,
we'll
I
get, well, you know
your
what? Let's do it now. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, so we'll go through them. Okay, so T asked for a trade. He didn't get it. He was trolling on Twitter last night. He like posted some. It was on Instagram. I saw it on Twitter though, about essentially like a song by some rapper that we wouldn't know who the hell it was, but your nephew did. Yeah, it's
mm-hmm.
about a song about like being trapped, essentially.
Right.
And it was just, I mean, Twitter trolling. This is the modern day athlete. I'm
This
sure
is
he's soon
the
he's gonna stop.
newspaper,
Well, I'm sure he's gonna stop following, all the Bengal
the Bengal
players here
stuff.
soon. Break up
Right.
with them on Instagram, which is
Right.
beyond childish, by the way. But anyway,
They're
that's
children.
fine. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the way of the newfangled athlete. So I don't really, I don't care. And again, good luck getting Mike Brown to do anything he doesn't want to do. So sorry, you're not forcing him to do anything. So
Calvin Ridley, 4 years, $92 million
yeah,
deal.
come on. And he's 29, I think, 28 or 29 years old. He ain't seeing nowhere near any of that money. What was the signing bonus? Like 60?
Something. I'm looking here. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was 60 million up front. So essentially a
50,
four
50 million guaranteed.
50. So 4 years, 50 million guaranteed. What is that? 12 million a year? That's about what he's worth. But he ain't seeing the other freaking $42 million.
And
But
if
it
he's
looks
on the
good for the
kickoff
age.
team and some
Yeah.
other crazy numbers, they're
Yeah.
probably
But it looks good from the it looks good
it
for
looks
the
good.
agent.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks good for the agent. But anyway, all right. So yeah, he kicks that off. Free agency starts. The Bengals don't really do a whole heck of a lot on day one in the morning, but then start to kick in the afternoon. So we'll look at the add-ons first. They add Josh Stone, the safety from the Ravens, on a reasonable deal. I think it's like 2 years, $14 million. Any thoughts on adding a new free safety and from your division rival?
I'm all in.
Yeah, we'll talk about who that misplaces here very soon. And then they signed Zach Moss, running back for the Colts. I think it
Cool.
was 2 years, $8 million.
Yeah.
Again, the football nerds love him. All of his nerd statistics say
Yeah.
that he is not just an equal to Joe Mixon. He's a better of Joe Mixon. Again,
Mhm.
football nerd stats. But they signed him 2 years, $8 million, no real money.
Nope.
And then, shortly thereafter, the report was that the Bengals cut Joe Mixon, but then we come to find out that he was actually, later
Cool.
on, they were able to work out a trade with the Texans. So,
Yeah.
so long, Joe Dean. What were your thoughts about Joe Mixon getting moved on?
Yeah. He's a leading rusher of the team, throwing
Yeah,
up
for the
leading
Chiefs, yes, but
touchdown. Yeah.
not the ever of all time.
Right.
He's only 27, but
Right.
he got a lot of not a lot of hits on them tires or whatever want to
He do.
use there, right?
He do. Look, the Bengals. Look, he he's gone. I will miss him. What could have been should have been. He is tied for second for touchdown passes in the Super Bowl for the
Yeah,
Bengals.
yeah.
So
He,
yeah,
he he could have. I mean, there is a world, and again, it's played out eventually over time that they shouldn't have even signed him to the second contract,
there's
but
a
they
yeah,
did, which
maybe
looked
the
like a
first contract.
but
Shit.
they looked like a bargain at the time at $12 million per. And then they had spent last year trying to get out of that, and then created a contract where there was a forced date of a roster bonus of $3 million, and his cap hit was going to be almost $8 million.
Mm.
The Bengals just weren't in the business for that, and I don't blame them.
It's yeah, age brings perspective and all that stuff. Yes, I can see both sides. The running back position in the NFL has been food,
Yeah,
food.
and riddle me this: don't you think that the way that the Midwest and Southeastern or whatever Ohio is set up, people are used to somebody staying at a job forever and then dying essentially after they
Mhm.
do that job. We haven't had a lot of practice with the Bengals having to say goodbye to long-term good players. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he was
You're right.
okay. Like he was okay, but then we had to move on. Or it was a bad breakup, like with Corey Dillon or Carson Palmer, like where they had to go. We definitely haven't had it. Would you say we've had a good player that had to leave in the social media era? Because by the time AJ left, he was shot.
Right.
Like
Steinbach.
in the social media
I mean,
area where people are like having their instant reactions on everything. I don't think we've had a player that was good, that played for the Bengals long term, that left, that everybody's all in their feelings about it, because people are all in their feelings about Joe Mixon.
well, that the left tackle that got a Super Bowl ring off us
Wit,
recently.
yeah, Wit.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they thought they had their backups there, and oops, they were wrong. Kid
Right.
roller skates. Shout out Sandman. Um, yeah, I mean, I we're
Other than
old.
that, I mean, everybody else. I mean, no, everybody. You're right. This is a new
Standard
era for us.
operating procedure. Yeah, this is SOP, right? I mean, for an older player, you're very close. You don't want to pay him a bunch of money. A running back. I mean, the cliff when they drop off is
It's steep.
very, very quickly.
Sean Alexander has boy, oh,
Yes, all
yeah,
pro to
to all stealing.
right. That's what I'm saying.
And Ezekiel Elliott, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I can see it from the owner's side.
Mm,
We, you are designed to be ran and get ran through, and that tire tread comes off.
yeah. And then the
Don't
Texans
give him a
doubled
second
down and gave him an
contract.
extension. And
Right?
the
Don't.
Texans gave him an extension. I was like, what in the world? That
I,
Texans definitely feels like they're going all in with the quarterback on
that's
a
someone.
rookie
Did you see that?
contract.
Did you see that? Orlovsky, whatever his name is, the Texans are trying to be the 2021 Bengals. He
I
wrote a
didn't
whole
see it,
ass
but it's
article.
not a surprise.
All
I
right,
mean, it's fine.
right,
Ag-
right.
Again, it's a lightning in a bottle situation. We caught
That's
it.
the NFL. That's the
Yeah,
NFL.
and again, but how many times have we seen, oh my God, this rookie quarterback, and I'm not checking out anything about CJ Stroud. They took the lead by storm, blah, 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 blah. And then the league catches up
Right.
really
The
quick.
league catches up to everybody.
Correct. So you better not be reading your press clippings
Right.
because they will figure you
And
out. And then you're like, what the hell happened to him? You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
See quarterback in Philadelphia.
yeah. Oh, whew, yeah. Good call. All right. So yeah. So he leaves. That was all essentially in day one, within the first 48 hours or whatever. Then day two, they sign tight end Mike Gesicki via New England after a very short tour of duty there, and he winds up coming to Cincinnati on a 1 year deal worth absolutely no money. So as I've stated here, like I was here, this is Dolphin country where I am. I was here when he was drafted. That dude is a problem, or was a problem, because he's like 6'7". He couldn't block anything. But if you put him in the slot or out, I mean, he's going to catch everything. Like his catch radius is ridiculous. I mean, again, New England was a dumpster fire, so his numbers there suck. But like his second, third, and fourth year with the Dolphins, I was like, yipes. He was a real problem. So you add to your tight end room. Drew Sample was also re-signed. My note was find you somebody that loves you like the Bengals love fucking Drew Sample, because I don't get it. They won't quit you.
That the left end, they love him.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you got your blocking inline tight end, you got your flex slot tight end that can catch everything. What about the Gesicki signing?
Hey, I hopefully with the new whatever, hopefully we have a new scheme that uses the tight end a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, the play with Joe get paid brigade did really well there for 2 years. CJ Uzama got a big deal with the Jets, cut. Hayden Hurst got a big deal with the Panthers, cut. Irv Smith didn't do anything. He wound up signing with the Chiefs in free agency, but he sucked all kinds of donkey, what's while he was here. So now,
And his best
Gesicki's,
friend in Canada.
yeah, Gesicki's got the opportunity to, go 3 out of 4 with these free agent tight ends and, maybe get some money. But he's better than the two of them, at least in terms of catching the ball. So we'll see how that goes. Hayden Hurst, everybody was wanting to bring him back. He signed with, I think, the Chargers, and CJ Uzama is still currently unemployed. All right. So that was that. So it's like, oh, okay. So they added people. So everybody's going, well, right tackle, still nobody there. As Jonah Williams signs with the Cardinals. We need a right
Bye,
tackle.
bitch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like so he leaves. We need a tackle. Right tackle, nothing. Hello, Bueller, nothing, nothing. And so all right. And then on Friday, well, we still need a defensive tackle. DJ Reader's still, you know, kind of out there, never got a deal done. He takes a trip to Detroit. Everybody said as soon as he left, that's it. If he gets on that plane, you're not getting him back. And exactly what happens. He signs like essentially a 2 year deal with the Lions for $30 million, but only $9 million of it guaranteed. So that sounds like injury protection for the
Right,
Lions.
if I was him, give me the first contract that's got more than $1 million on it, or
Yeah.
the veteran minimum. I'm going for it.
And again, I hate to be the person of
Just going to say it.
well, no, it's more. I just like kind of looking at this realistically because other people love spending other people's money. Um, the Bengals had him in there since he had that first injury in the quad 2 years ago. They had him and he got his quad injured this year. So he was rehabbing in Cincinnati at the facility. I would think that they know more about his medicals than anybody else. So he was allegedly insulted by the low offer that they offered, which was probably like injury protection. Like, yo, we can't. You're 30.
5 million.
Yeah, you're 30 years old. You're coming off 2 quad
Injury.
injuries.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
You
imagine they
might
were
be
probably.
shot.
Yeah, they don't like signing 30-year-olds to begin with. So I'm sure they made an offer, but it probably wasn't there. But again, oh, the defense is going to be a lot worse without DJ Reader. Did you see the run defense last year with DJ Reader?
Olay. It was Olay. Olay.
So I mean, it could be worse, obviously, but it can be much worse.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Well, yeah. So, so he goes. That was a big deal. People again, a social media, whatever. Everybody liked DJ Reader. I did too. I,
Everybody we talking about that left.
yeah.
I like Mixon. Don't I'm not inviting to meet my white women, but
Mm,
I like to. We ain't said TB yet, but I
mm-hmm.
mean I like everybody that's leaving, and these
Yep.
guys were like I said 10, 15 years ago when guys left the Bengals. They usually didn't find employment because they kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now
Now,
guys are going to find employment, and they're going to go to our rivals and
well,
give us.
nobody has yet.
Then
So
Boyd ain't gone yet.
nope, he hasn't signed with anybody either, which is kind of surprising. I think I heard
Mm.
he had an offer. Well, if that report that they sent out was true about, which I think is whoever posted that in the group chat about, oh God, the thing with Kim Kardashian and what's the
Oh,
wide
that was
receivers?
me.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's true. It's not on any. It might have been a goof, but why the hell would they give him 3 years? He hasn't been a, a dude for like 3 years now. But anyway, like the biggest issue is that you're also losing like the captains on the team, DJ a captain, Joe Mixon a captain as well. You got to replace that leadership,
Right. That,
and they missed that part too.
right. That leadership is great in the locker room. Ain't no everybody's not fighting each other, sure. But your ass got to take on that 300-pound lineman by your
Right,
damn self usually.
right. So the Bengals did respond with that by signing Sheldon Rankins to play defensive tackle, more of a three tech to try to get to the passer as opposed to a run stuffing, nose tackle. Um, so they do that. They're trying to find a nose tackle. Like Pierre Tart, he played he was with the Titans, and then he was trying to get a contract, and it wasn't happening, and he essentially quit and got waived, and then signed with the Texans, and now he's a free agent. They hosted him, and then the right tackle spot they hosted Mekhi Becton. The
Jets.
pictures out there on the internet where they were, at Jeff Ruby's in Cincinnati. That's usually the closer part of the deal, and they did bring in the closer, which is Joe Burrow, to have that dinner there, and usually that's a wrap if he shows up, and um, it didn't. Tart left without a contract. Becton, from what I hear, if you believe the internet or whatever, he doesn't want to play right tackle, so that's a problem. But he could be your swing tackle, to play left or right if somebody gets injured, but you need a right tackle. So the Bengals still have
Real
no right
good right
tackle,
tackle.
still have no defensive tackle that you would consider a run stuffer.
Mm.
There's not a lot of names out there that aren't either bad or shot and or
Yeah.
older
The
or
draft ain't
older.
got no answers either.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you do here? Have right tackle and or defensive tackle. You got Trent Brown out there. There's a couple of right tackles you could probably get, but again,
It's,
I was saying the Goat Killer. I was like, Tart quit on his team essentially last year, so I'm not sure if that's something that they want to bring in, especially at whatever money he's asking. So but if you're painted into a corner with a defensive tackle because you need a nose, you might not have a choice. You can't go in with, we're gonna get a rookie to play it. Good luck with that shit.
that's one. Let me get here. Come my answer. This is my motherfucking answer for the next fucking 6-7 weeks
Yeah.
or
You have to be on
7 months.
YouTube. You have to be on YouTube. Yeah,
We screwed. Yeah,
yeah,
screwball.
yeah. It's a weird position. It's like, oh, we could sign Calais Campbell. He might be older than Zach Taylor.
He's 38.
Yeah, so I mean, who's a
He,
still a good player? He just
he
played for the Falcons last year.
he
He's
just
still
played for the
good.
Falcons, and
Yeah,
he was good for the Falcons.
yeah, I have no doubt about it. But it also becomes, he's pitch count, limited snaps, however you want to do it.
Right,
You still need another rotational piece. That could be a rookie, I guess. But I mean, this is not
right,
a deep draft for those types of nose tackles either. So
right.
I mean, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner. And then at right tackle now, if you don't sign like one of these bridge veterans, I mean, 18 has to be a tackle. Like if you had signed somebody before, you could have done whatever with that pick. Trade back, get the tackle later, trade up if you wanted to go get Brock Bowers or whoever the hell you had. Now you're kind of
Oh,
stuck.
we are food. 18. We are boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean you
And we ain't
stuck.
even got to the right. We ain't even got to the bad part in my world for sure.
Mm. Well, we'll get there hopefully.
Right.
So yeah, so there's that, and then we do bring back Von Bell on a 1 year deal worth like a million some odd dollars, a little less
Right.
than $2 million. He's getting paid by Carolina because they guaranteed his second year. And he paid like $6 million, but the Bengals are only on the hook for like a million something of it. So you
Well,
do bring back a captain after you lost one. He
right.
probably should have never left because, I mean, again, the Bengals valued him at a certain price. They weren't going to go over it. The Panthers trying to build a new tradition, overpaid for him, much like they just did on every other player that they signed here in this particular offseason. But
That's a them problem.
that's a them problem. So now he comes back, but it creates a problem or a question. What do you do about Dax Hill? He just brought in Josh Stone to play free safety. That was the position he was playing. Jordan Battle came in and played essentially, strong safety and did it pretty well as a
Very
rookie.
good. I'll
You
take him.
bring Von Bell in, he's essentially like a strong safety, but he has and can do both in a pinch. What do you do with Dax
Yeah,
Hill?
he's not. Yeah, he's. I like him better as safety now, like anything else, or
Yeah,
at
what
strong, or at yeah.
what do you do with Dax Hill? First round pick.
And he ain't. I don't think he got the wheels to stick with most. And he ain't. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
there's
all right,
talk of
but he ain't. He
yeah.
ain't right. He ain't got the whatevers for
Look, yeah,
full.
there's talk of like all letting let him compete at like CB two.
Yeah.
CB2, with DJ Hill, the other cornerback from the school up north that they drafted last year, and like,
He should beat that motherfucker. Yeah.
well, but he did well in the first half of the year. He definitely hit the rookie wall, and then he could play slot corner, which was his position at Michigan, but that's where Mike Hilton is on the last year of his contract too. Also, a dog, a captain, and all those types of things. And you got to have this difficult conversation about him next year too, because he's been here, but he's going to be like 31 or going into his
It
32
ain't you.
year.
You
The
know
conversation is
you know
over.
what's gonna happen.
Exactly. So, what do you do with Dax? Do you have a potential trade piece? First round pick, maybe somebody that liked him. Hell, maybe Harbaugh was like,
San,
oh,
that,
I'm going to bring
San,
him in or
San
whatever.
Diego. San Diego is doing more restructuring of contracts. Holy
Well, but I
man,
mean, he's not making any real money. He's a
he's
rookie.
not. But I'm saying,
So, but maybe they have a freaking defensive tackle that they like, but don't like it that
I don't
much,
love that
that you'll
much.
give up, like, to flip the player or some other team. Even if you're just flipping the players, you could maybe get a highway robbery like Billy Price and BJ Hill.
Mm,
Something like is out there. But I mean, if he's going to be the dude. And again, there's cut ups online. Again, football nerds where he was really good on tight ends. So maybe he's that dude, but you wasted a first round pick on a tight end stopper.
I mean,
That ain't it.
tight ends is lighting it up, but sure.
Understood, but I don't
I
know.
and I would almost if they can afford him. I mean, our defensive backfield last year, it was shit. It was Pearl Harbor, 1941.
Yes, and that should be some of it should definitely be calmed down by the return of Von Bell. That definitely
Mhm.
should help, as well as just age, maturity, year in the system. But again, like I know I don't want to give up on Dax Hill either because essentially he didn't play as a rookie. And then last year was really his first year in that system playing as a full time starter. And he was okay initially, and then it just fell apart at the end, much like the
The,
rest of
the
like
league figured it
the
out or
secondary.
something. And
Right. So I don't know what you do with him. I don't think you should bail on him. God, he's only like 23,
right, it's
you
right.
know.
It's he good enough. He better than
Right.
that other blankety blank from Michigan.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, I'll get to that one too. It was on one of the other ones that you weren't on either. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
I don't think inside of our particular division, they're gonna have to be really good at run tackling. That's what I
Right.
say.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, what is this thing that I missed? Because there hasn't been any free agent signings, and again, as of this afternoon, still nobody signed by the Bengals or whatever. What are you saying is the thing that we really haven't talked about?
I mean, the other OPP, other people.
Oh yeah, that's on my list for around the AFC North. Yeah, I got you on that one.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm getting there. All right. So yeah, the still needs defensive tackle and right tackle. Like as we're
with
getting into Saturday
we need them.
afternoon,
We need
still
them
needs
bad.
them,
Yeah.
and they haven't done anything yet. And again, it's not even to not do anything as much as it is
What's
all the
left?
good ones are gone,
Yeah,
man.
what's left? We're
Yeah, I mean, you
right.
wait.
We're picking through other people's garbage.
Yeah, you waited. And again, if you go based on cap estimates or whatever, like they didn't, if they signed a bunch of players, but they didn't spend any
They
money.
sure didn't.
Like
They
even
didn't.
if you counted every dollar, which you don't do over this time or whatever, what Zach Moss or whatever, $8 million. Josh Stone, $17 million. You're not paying what that's 25. You're not paying anything for Von Bell, $1 million. Sheldon Rankins, he's getting like 10 or 12. So what's that? 35. Let's say it was $40 million. That's if you counting the entire contracts, which obviously we're not because signing bonuses and what the cap hits are. You had
What did
upwards
you
of almost.
and you got rid of about 40 or damn near equal, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But going into it, they had, taking out the $10 million for rookies or whatever, they had like upwards of almost $70 million. So you
Mm-hmm.
have money. So
Mm-hmm.
do you use that money to sign T. Higgins? I don't.
Right.
What do you do?
I you need we need that number 9 dude to survive 17 or at least 16 regular season games.
Which he hasn't done yet.
Right.
Well, 1 year.
One.
Uh, so yeah, that's it. But like, well, they're saving some of this money for like
Chase.
the Jamar's extension. I'm like, that's a done deal. Like
Right.
whatever freaking
Right.
Jefferson gets paid, that's what he's getting paid. Like a little bit
Like
under it.
like
Like
like,
that's it.
like
Like
$5 less or some
yeah,
shit.
you have the money for that. Like that's not it. You don't need to save money for money that you already have. So
Do you buy Skyline chili in a can?
hell no.
No, no one does. But shit, I went to Kroger recently, and that shit is damn near $7 a can.
No. God
I'm
no.
like, who are they? They are fucking somebody getting laced.
Well, I just had the real deal last weekend, so I'm good. But so, and then I guess we have to address it because it was like a big deal for a day or so when the Bengals weren't signing anybody because Justin Jefferson didn't sign his extension. There was a report that he had turned down $30 million a year, and then Kirk Cousins signs with the Falcons, so they have no quarterback.
Falcons are dumb as fuck, by the way.
Yes, insane that they signed that old ass man. But also keep getting them checks, Kirk Cousins, because holy shit, he's backed it up to the Brinks truck all the way, and for absolute mediocrity.
What you're talking
Is he a
about fantasy
500
players?
quarterback?
He
Yeah,
is a fan. He is a fantasy thing, but as
yeah,
far as winning real games, he's worth.
yeah. It's awful. But so now that thought of reuniting the three of them, Super Bowls in New Orleans, I mean, again, if they would entertain the offer, the Bengals do have probably what it would take. We'll give you a player of comparable value and a pick, a first rounder, and whatever you'd have to throw in on the back end to make the draft chart work. I mean, you could do it. It's just like they're not interested in trading him. I was like, you're not going to be interested in having him there for a year, super pissed off
Pissed off.
with
Right, his stats
with
going down.
JJ McCarthy throwing him freaking the ball. Like
Right.
that's going to be worse.
His stats going whatever. Him getting hurt
Right.
for whatever the I guess he'll make at least 15, 20.
So I mean, again, there's that rumor out there that they're just saving up their money to try to do that. Jamar trolling too. It's like y'all aren't gonna believe this story. It's gonna be a crazy
Right.
story to tell.
We
Whatever.
won't.
I mean, again,
But you know what? Did you hear the story here in Atlanta where shit before Cousins signed? There's a supposedly Pitts, the tight end. He got a
mm,
text from his old boy's people talking about, will you trade out your number?
mm.
So when old
Oh,
boy
from Kirk
shows up,
Cousins.
right?
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins,
I
right,
did see him say like who's wearing 8. Yeah, I
right,
did see him text that or
right.
tweet that.
So I
Wow.
mean, the collusions and the ties that bind, nobody gives a fuck about that shit. I mean,
Well, and
the shit
he's
is dirty.
and he Pitts probably on his way out of there too. I mean, he
He
could
is.
probably be had for a bag of chips too. But yeah, so I don't know. Bengals need to do something at one of those spots so you not be feel
Shit.
forced to
Both of
take,
those thoughts.
but so you don't feel forced to take. You can't have both of them as needs going into that pick at 18. Okay, I'm tackle class seems deep. I hate the idea of a rookie guarding Joe Burrow, not his blind side, but just the idea of guarding Joe Burrow with a rookie, it just kills me.
It will kill
You
him
know,
first.
right? But probably I've been saying this for a while. You address defensive tackle and right tackle with a veteran, and then you draft the replacements behind them. On 1 or 2 year deals, and hopefully that person can come in and play if they had to in a pinch, or be ready the next year. But
But to
they
put him,
haven't done that.
right, you're putting hopefully right this dude who's coming back from injury, a big injury.
Hmm.
You put him behind plexiglass.
Right. All right, so let me see about my notes. What do we do about Dax? Okay, so we're good. All right, so let's swing around the AFC North. Let's start with the Browns because they did the least, which is really nothing. I mean, they're freaking cap poor. Can't do anything because their quarterback is costing like $63 million against their cap. He sucks. They
Brass,
bring in they brought in Jameis to back him up. That's
brass.
fine. I really thought that they were gonna re-sign guy who played quarterback for them at the end.
The quarterback for the Ravens
The
before.
Ravens. Right. What's his name, Lou?
Uh,
I keep
that
wanting to say Kirk Cousins.
no, the other Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. Sorry.
Yeah,
So yeah, so Flacco finishes. I thought they were gonna bring it back and create a whole ass quarterback controversy, but they didn't do there because they knew like as
yeah,
soon as
right,
he came back, you had a full quarterback controversy on your
right.
hands. So they didn't.
And it also helped that he sucked that last game.
Yeah,
But
well, and then
yeah,
he also, he signed with the Colts, to back up. Will
right, right. I mean,
allegedly,
right.
allegedly to back up. Was it Richardson?
Well,
So
yeah.
there's that two. So let's go up the rung here. So I guess it would be let's
Steve.
do the Steelers first. They also did the most and the least all at the same time. Yesterday they trade their first round pick bust of Kenny Pickett, trading
Who
to the Eagles for a
did you,
bag of
you you see that reason though? That was some bullshitty ass
chips.
reason
Well, they gave a
about he was
reason.
complaining or some shit. Uh,
But
like,
you let Pickens stay on the team, but
right,
yeah,
right.
you got to get rid of your quarterback. Yeah, he sucked. They knew they overdrafted him. Everybody knew it on draft night. Did you see that thing where what's that show called? Um, it's not called the same thing anymore. It was like one of those roundtable shows where they have like former pro athletes that are like real recently pros, like Ryan Clark and other people, and they had
Yeah,
him on. And they had Shady McCoy on there. He was like, to me, Kenny Pickett, Joe Burrow, they pretty much the same quarterback. And he the look on, oh god, what was that wide receiver that the Steelers had that they traded? He wound up with the Dolphins this past year. Oh god, I can't remember. He was a receiver for the Steelers at the time, and his face was like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know about all that. So yeah,
right.
he's
There's one,
obviously not Joe Burrow.
right. One person wins the Super Bowl on merit. The other one
Mhm.
could barely afford it on ticks.
Yeah, so again, the Steelers are who we are. They're going to win 8 or 9 games. Their defense, although aging and whatever, they do sign Patrick Queen from the Ravens. They've had a hard time finding a middle linebacker for
Linebacker
years. Something that they've always
gone.
strived at, but they
Right.
couldn't find one to save their life over the last couple of years. And then obviously they signed Russell Wilson, a 1 year deal. Um, with no essentially like the salary, no guarantees to
But
be
he's
there.
getting
So they
paid.
have to be in the quarterback market. They lost Mason Rudolph, who was the one that finished the season for them. He signed with uh can't remember where he
Not
signed. Maybe I don't remember,
no, it don't
but
officially matter. I
yeah,
don't
but
think.
so they bring in Russ, let him cook. Russ is washed. I do,
Everybody, did you see his stats last year though?
but do you see the record of the team last year though?
We didn't. They didn't draft the Denver Broncos. They just drafted
But it's
him.
empty. But they're empty stats. That's what I'm saying.
And
Like they're
them
empty.
empty stats is better than the other three teams in our division. And true
His
enough,
he's done. Like he can't move anymore. He's afraid of getting hit. Like
is he an
he's like
upgrade from the two blankety blanks they had yesterday?
I'm gonna say yes, but a long dot and question mark out of it because again he's one hit away from being cuddled up with CR full time.
I get all of that. I do. But right, they can win. Them two, that the Steelers and that other team we're about to talk about can win 9 games in a hurricane.
Right.
Now a playoff game with Russell Wilson, I don't know
Mhm.
about.
Yeah. I mean, again, everything is because we're doing it with the Bengals too. Everything is assuming health. We all know that that's a fool's gold, especially in the North. Anyway, again, he's not used to that level of football too, the intensity and all of that. I mean, even Steelers fans aren't really happy with the
They
signing.
ain't. I mean,
So
they're not happy, but they're better than Rudolph and that other F.
yeah, but they were winning with smoke and mirrors with those dudes anyway. Everybody knew that. And
They
again, that's
were.
what they're but they need to turn. And that was Russ's problem over there is that he's essentially a system quarterback now, but he's used to not playing in a system. So which led to goofy turnovers and those types of things. Like it's just, can Tomlin tap him down to make sure that he's going to do that. And again, there's still a sieve on their offensive line, which was the problem in Denver, which was the problem in Seattle, which turned him into the quarterback that he is right now.
There's a
So like
problem.
he's seeing and hearing ghosts too.
All right.
So I mean, I think it was a quality signing, but again, I think if they stuck Mason Rudolph back there, they're probably still going to win 8 or 9 games just based on defense.
Right. And yeah,
But
I do. And I
but
unfortunately I like the Queen signing for them,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. But I mean, again, I think their defense got better. Their offense is probably a slight tick better. But again, the fall off eventually is going to come, for at
But
least defensively there because
right there,
their guys are getting
that's
old.
they want to go to the Super Bowl. He ain't going. I mean, he ain't gonna get you
Right.
the Super Bowl. He'll get
Yeah,
you. He
that's
might
what
get you a playoff win,
that's what
maybe
I said
one.
to Goat Killer too. I was like, that's an all in move on a team that's not necessarily all in. Like you have an all in defense, but your offense is
Still
not there
shaky.
yet. And
And
then
you're,
that,
and
but
you're,
then the Falcons' former coach there,
you're
he's
right.
sucks
You're
as
right.
the offensive coordinator.
Arthur
That's
Smith,
not
it
good, dude.
sucked.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So
I didn't like that move for them overall, but it's fine. And then the
that's
Ravens,
them problem.
they lose. Well, they traded their right tackle, um, that which was kind of weird, but they feel they have a backup. They lose Patrick Queen. They signed Derrick Henry. I think everybody and their mother knew that was going there. Again, and I'm not saying this in the sense of, oh well, the Bengals or whatever. I'm saying this from the sense of, if we talk about Joe Mixon got a lot of tread or not a lot of tread left, he hasn't been that dude for like 3 seasons.
Right.
Like that dude,
Since
like
we
the
played.
dude that we were used to seeing. He
Right.
hasn't been that dude for a
Right.
while. The breakaway speed, like the run to people. He hadn't been that dude really essentially since he broke his foot, which was the
Right.
year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. That's 21. He
Right.
hasn't been that dude in a while.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's a quality signing, but they always have decent running backs there. They're trying to run the ball first. I don't hate it for them.
It's
Defensively,
just
they're gonna
that
be what they are. They lost their defensive coordinator to Mike McDonald to be the head coach out in Seattle.
right.
So I mean,
You don't trust Lamar Jackson making the best plays with his
right.
brain.
And you're
So
assuming health there too, who
right,
hasn't been
right.
last year
So
was his
right,
first healthy year in 3 himself.
right. He got paid and he's like, shit, I'm gonna play all the way through now. So yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
played all the way through. But and then when he had to use his brain to do some shit, he made bad decisions
Yeah.
and
Oh no.
they stopped running.
No,
So
the
give it to
yeah,
him, give it to Henry, make that mother blinker run, and it's
right.
a 1 year deal.
Yeah, I mean, and that's and again, that's not even an all-in move either because they could have brought back freaking any running back that they have, Gus Edwards or whatever. They're still, the wins over replacement nerds. I don't think it's like, oh wow, you're not getting Derrick Henry from 4 years ago. It's not the same dude.
It's
It's
not,
not.
but tomorrow or for a year, I think he can do just enough for the
Mhm.
city. Just
They're
enough.
losing one of their guards to Zeitler, who is also still out there.
Right.
He hasn't re-signed with them or anybody else either. So I mean, I don't know. Again, everybody knows we lived it for 2 years. Like, wow, the teams that lose and made the playoffs, only what 60% of them make it back or whatever, that 40%, something like that. So we like, oh yeah, the Bengals are gonna get back. Health killed, as soon as his calf decided to explode, we had a problem. So oops. So something. It's always assuming health is the way to go, but you never really know. So wow. All right. Let's do our mock draft Monday here coming up as we head out of the full screen. Go to that. Let's see if we can share screen. I think I've actually gotten better at this. Boom, we're up. Can you see?
I see.
Wow, look at that on one attempt. I'm getting good. So yeah, again, as you've known, if you've been listening to me for the last week or so, PFF is straight tripping, charging people for mock drafts. Like past, you can't go
Somebody,
past 3 rounds. We can't go
somebody
past
do
3 rounds. You
research.
got to pay. You got to pay past 3 rounds. So, all right. So we're gonna pull this up here and go through.
This is how. What's her name? Miss Cleo made her money.
I guess. All
Rest in
right.
peace.
So let's see. I'm gonna slow down the picks here. So I
And
have the
Justin
picks to me.
Fields ain't playing for nobody as a starter.
You know what? That's a different conversation. Um, I I'm probably in the wrong here. I mean, again, I know there was talk about the Steelers trading for him, but why would you do that and then bring in Rush? You've
Right.
literally created a quarterback controversy,
Something.
and you're gonna have to pay him too because you're paying him on potential.
Right.
I'm not trading for him.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right. You wait for him to get cut.
Or or the Bears do that whatever. People do not like that Caleb Williams kid for some reason. He's
I
quirky.
don't like him either.
Yeah, he's kind of quirky, and does that fit in, especially in Chicago of all places? You know what I mean? Like a place
All
historically
Chicago,
bad.
all Chicago sees another right.
Yeah, well, and also
Warm hearted
historically bad for
handshake.
quarterbacks too.
Right.
Historically bad for
Right.
drafting quarterbacks. So, yeah, maybe they keep him and then trade
Make
down
make
and
him
draft
receiver.
Harrison
Make him a
and
running
draft
back.
yeah and draft Harrison.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, here we go. Let's start this draft. We got it on the slowest mode possible. Caleb Williams goes first there.
Marvin
JJ McCarthy
Harrison.
goes in round one. You kidding me?
That's the good. Take that fool's gold.
That's insane. So let's look at some of the picks ahead here. So Caleb Williams goes, Drake May the second,
Drake May.
Jaden Daniels
All them quarterbacks suck.
suck. I agree. Marvin Harrison four. So I mean, I know Arizona just hoping that this scenario comes out this way so they can finally get like a true number one. But if I'm Marvin Harrison, that's probably the last place I want to go to. If
Right.
you got a quarterback that wants to run first.
Arizona has become
Yeah, that's a
the
death. That's a
nuclear.
death sentence too.
Right. That's the nuclear waste place of the
Right.
NFL now.
So let's see. And so we go to so that was up through four. Dallas Turner nine. Rome Oduzne, a wide receiver to the Falcons. That's a bad idea. Joe Alt.
In a
JJ.
in a league that's full of wide receivers already, I would get an stat. I mean, you could if it ain't Marvin Harrison, I'm not fucking the rest
Yeah.
of them.
JJ McCarthy to the Giants. That's at
That's
six.
very Giants.
Yeah, that would be bad too.
Giants.
Dallas Turner.
Dumb.
So
But six is up six, and anything past five for a quarterback,
yeah.
you are in fucking no man's land.
So
And this is
Talisi
a bad
Fuaga, the
quarterback.
tackle from Oregon State, goes 10th here. I don't know if they do that with the Jets since they just signed uh, the tackle that was at Dallas, and name is slipping me right now. So maybe I don't know if they do because it wasn't a 1 year deal for him. So maybe they thinking something there differently as you go through. The Vikings don't take a quarterback. That's crazy.
Right.
Brock Bowers winds up at 13 here. with the Raiders, who just drafted Michael Myers last year at tight end. So that would
They
be
got rid of
stupid.
Hunter Renfrew.
Yeah, that would
Oh
be dumb. I mean, you also don't have a quarterback.
yeah.
They
Hey,
like Garoppolo just left. Not that he was a
they left
quarterback,
him
but he
out.
just signed. So Byron Murphy is a defensive lineman that the Bengals had. People had thought about. He winds up with the Saints. Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo, is this year's Sauce Gardner. Like everybody loves this dude. And the Bengals, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, again, depending on how free agency shakes out, they took a cornerback early if that dude was there. One of the other tackles for Schuler from Penn State, please stay away from.
Yeah.
Troy Fontenot, the tackle from Washington. I don't like that idea either. So we're on the clock at 18.
Yeah, I don't like none of them characters from the pack.
So
On the pack.
on the clock here, Cooper DeJean, the white cornerback. He's going to be
Nope.
described that way forever.
Nope.
Zahn Newton, like he's the defensive tackle, but he's also another 3-tech dude, not
Not
a
a
run stopper.
nope.
But there are no run stoppers in round one, so you got to probably consider it. Nate Wiggins, the cornerback from Clemson, he weighed in at like 135 pounds. He's not even a first round pick at this point.
Right.
Here's one that I've been thinking about, Hutch. Again, that was assuming getting the right tackle in the free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So Jackson Powers Johnson, the center of Oregon, we made the mistake in drafting Jackson Carman instead of Creed Humphreys, who's an all-pro center for the Chiefs.
We made two linemen big problems.
This dude is, projected to be good. He has zero position versatility, just like Creed Humphrey, which is why he lasted so long into the second round. But I know I don't think you're gonna agree with me. A lot of people don't agree with this. Karras kind of sucks. He's just better than what we had. He's the Attack of the Clones. If you listen to our other podcast, he's Attack of the Clones. It's not as bad as the first one, but it's still bad.
Right.
So
I was going to say that the other podcast, he's the other Von Erich.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, if you move, because he played guard before he came to play center for the Bengals. He just has position versatility. Like Karras at guard, at left guard, and moving forward, Cordell Volson to
bench,
to the bench. Yeah, like as first tackle off the bench. I don't hate that idea if you can get this dude at Jackson Powers Johnson, and then you have an elite center.
If this dude, look, we need 3 offensive linemen.
I'm just saying, but that gives you
if this
two.
dude is better than Karras or Karras,
yeah,
then I'm all in.
But this gives you 2. You get a better center, and then you get a better guard by moving Karras over there, and then Volson to the bench. Like that to me.
I'm for it. I agree. Where's my gavel?
All right, and then defensive end, Latui Latau.
Nope.
JC Latham. See, I stand away from Alabama players
we had
always.
We've had enough.
Always.
Right. We have whatever. They don't do nothing for us. Now Georgia.
Now that's the other one. Amarius Mims is sitting there. Has only 8 starts. Might lightweight be injury prone. He did not run at his pro day. But and that's the thing. Latham, who has several starts, but I think it's the floor ceiling thing. I think Latham's already at his ceiling. Yeah, Latham's already at his ceiling. Memes has a higher ceiling, but his floor, because he doesn't have the experiences, is on the floor.
We are in Super Bowl or bust mode ourselves, whether we believe it or not.
So what do? Do you draft for the dude that could play? Latham could you plugging and playing him from day one. Mims might need some time. What do you do? Or do you take the center and try and get a tackle later?
Our current offensive line sucks.
Okay.
Anything that makes it better, I'm for.
Well, again, this is why we're on a draft thing here, dude. Who do you take?
I said the first. Take that
Jackson Powers
center.
Okay. Jackson Powers Johnson.
We got to find a decent tackle in real life.
Yeah, I think you need a real one.
A professional.
I agree. All right, so we're going through, getting into round 2. Tyler Guyton, the tackle from Oklahoma, goes to the Ravens, of course.
We've got to talk about our compensatory picks, but I guess
it's that extra third that they screwed up. Man, Newton didn't go into the 3rd round or into the top of the 2nd. That's crazy. He has been falling in a lot of things here.
He
We go
been
back
caught
through.
smoking weed in a mask or something.
I don't know. There's something going on with him for sure. Hold on, let's get into it. So yeah, Tyler Guyton, another tackle the Bengals were interested in, goes to the Ravens at 30. Um, let's see what the other people did. Let's see. Cooper DeJean goes to the Eagles. That makes sense. J.C. Latham goes to the Dolphins, and then of course the Steelers pick Mims right after us. So yeah, I
Whatever.
can't imagine they're keeping that pick. They got to be trading for a quarterback. I can't imagine they're going to try to run Russ out there. All right, so get into round two. Lad McConkey goes. I know the Bengals allegedly were interested in him at wide
Everybody
receiver.
interested with McConkey. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Newton goes to the Raiders, which makes kind of sense, I guess. Bo Nix to the
Bo
Saints.
Nix is a
That's
please
bad.
anybody but us.
Why the hell is Roman Wilson, this wide receiver from that school up north, a second round pick? That dude is not good at all. Like
They're all upgraded because of their tainted championship, I guess.
yeah, I guess. All right. So let's get back to pick number 49 the Bengals are
Man,
picking, I
you can
think.
go.
Sorry.
Hell,
No, that's
holy
third. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I wound up
weed.
in the third round. All right, so here we go. Who's on the clock at 49? No players from the school up north at all. Sorry.
No,
Not
we
doing
had
it.
it. We got enough.
Yeah, Brandon Fisk, defensive tackle. Again, another 3 tech-ish kind of dude, not a
Right.
run stopper.
Everybody is pass rushing these days. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody
nobody else
running
stops to run the
in
ball.
college
Correct.
other than the quarterback.
Correct. No safeties. Javon Bullard, Ricky Pearsall. It has been somebody mocked to the Bengals. Another wide receiver. Where's the beef?
Yeah,
Jatavion Sanders, tight end. I
we
don't know if
don't
tight end becomes a day two pick at this point since you just
we don't
signed.
need it.
You signed one and
We
you
got
brought one
three of them
back.
now, right?
Well, we only got two, but I mean, you could bring back freaking Wilcox, or you could sign freaking CJ Uzama for no money too. You know what I mean? If you needed
Right. That's
somebody.
right. Yeah, the tight
I
end
mean,
ain't no trouble.
you could take a tight end in the fourth or the fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't at round two, you need this dude to come in and play. Sanders
We,
ain't gonna come in
we
and play
need
because we
what
already signed dudes.
what we need is somebody to go visit all these motherfucking penitentiary and
Come on.
find the biggest motherfuckers in there
Mm.
and put them out on work release for shit about 3 months.
None of these picks are great here. I'd
They're not.
consider a trade, but
But who? I mean, I don't think people that are eligible in that spot don't want these people either.
mm,
The
uh,
NFL now, I mean, most teams kind of do already kind of have enough, and these dudes are not going to break through.
right.
More than likely, these are just
Oh,
people that fill up the table, the 53, the whatever, 53 to
okay.
58.
Here's the one nose tackle in the draft is Tavondre Sweat from Texas. Big, huge dude. Not like, but huge, like 360, 370, huge. Can he
Mm-hmm.
control his weight? He's an elite athlete in terms of his that, but didn't turn it on till this year. The clock kind
Right,
of came on, had some not real dings in terms of character things, but he's
right,
360, 370. Like he's a couple of burger skylines from 400, and at that point, unplayable.
right.
But he is essentially the only defensive tackle there. His rank is 74. You could roll the dice that you get him at 90,
You gonna
but you
roll the
probably don't.
right? You
Do you
roll
take
the
this
pound.
fat defensive tackle here? I probably do. I probably do.
This is our second round pick.
Is our second, and historically, especially under Zach Taylor, second round picks, a little shaky. Drew Sample. Well, T. Higgins, yay. Drew Sample, Jackson Carmen. And last year was no, was that
Cornerback,
the
wasn't it?
cornerback from Michigan. But also you got wait, did you get Cam Taylor Britt? Was he third round maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
well,
it's it's
it's Chinese checkers. Shit.
it's all right. So Sweat, take the defensive tackle, or you take one of the smaller dudes in a rotation that you could probably count on to not be 400 pounds.
Rope hell, keep the bag going. Somebody hire that fat fuck and keep him away from damn fucking
Skyline.
Snacks Row. Yeah.
Mm. All right, so we take him at the defensive tackle. So you address you address the offensive line,
Yeah.
assuming that you get a right tackle and free agency, and then we're moving on our way down into round 3 here. Let's see, on the clock, pick 80. I said 90. Pick 80. No quarterbacks, and hell to no to Blake Corum, our principal. We already have our freaking
DJ Turner the second was the pick 60
yeah.
last
Thank you, and also like we already have our mixed race running back, so we're good
year.
there. Awful.
Hey, don't right. We're all some type of mix.
Blake Fisher, tackle from Notre Dame, third round. He's got a
Hell,
second round. He's got his
hell,
third round grade. This is right where he's supposed to be picked. It is freaking Notre Dame. You know he's smart.
but
He can,
slow.
but it's probably yeah. But it's also right tackle. So you don't. I mean, you need him to be able to do something. But it's right
Right.
tackle. It's not.
Hey,
Trying to need a road grader. Something like that.
right.
Uh, no,
Hey,
no, he's there. He's there. Trying to learn all
Tangent
these other
equals sine
people.
over cosine equals yeah. So yeah, he's
I
a
like.
brainiac. He'll be a
I
doctor on his off days,
I
but
like Jeremiah Trotter, the linebacker from Clemson. I think we need to upgrade there too. Not
they
that the two starters are bad, but I think we
but
need to go
they
back to. Well, I think we need to go back to Jermaine Pratt being a first and second down linebacker. You shouldn't be out there on third. And then now Trotter's not a third down linebacker either, but he's somebody spell him. He can go thump on first and second down, like the Joe Batchies of the world and all of our other backup white
what is your
linebackers.
shouldn't your isn't the old saying or maybe it's still the new saying shouldn't your first three dudes be starters?
In theory, but at least taking significant snaps.
No,
So, I mean, again, if we draft the tackle, he's probably going to be playing some significant snaps. Our
but
first round
definitely.
pick definitely
Right.
will be too. So, like, he'd be starting center. So, and then the second round, I mean, Sweat's going to be there. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go do your YouTube, I mean, dude is ridiculous. It's just you. I mean, you're betting on him that he doesn't eat himself out of the league.
Out of the league, right?
Yep,
Right.
that's bad.
Right.
So, but we'll pull that up after here. So,
I
do
get
we take the
take
tackle,
Trotter, taking
take the linebacker over the tackle?
how many tackles we gonna get?
We don't have a. We did. Oh, do we take? No, we didn't take Mims. We don't have a tackle. We took the center and we took the
And
DT.
taking third round tackles.
Take Fisher, man. Fisher didn't work out for us the last time we took a Fisher.
Go, take Dom. Just go with Fisher. And boy, oh boy.
Yeah,
We're
Trotter
on
goes
the
right
all
after.
academic team, but
Trotter goes right after us. By the way,
right.
Michael Hall was there at pick 95. Goes to the Chiefs. A little overrated.
Yeah, I was about to say you can make a whole ass professional team of Ohio State players
Yeah.
who are still free agents right now.
Oh, and this is our compensatory. That's right. We have a compensatory third. That's right.
I tried to tell you this.
I remembered. I forgot that it was going to show up on here. So this is usually where they double up.
Right.
So is there anybody an Iowa tight end? It's always a
You're
good
about a year
idea.
too late for that one, or maybe
Yeah, we messed up. They screwed up last year.
Yep.
Oh, Eichenberg.
He overrated.
Come on, really?
The Ohio State defense sucks.
With a third round pick, he's probably he has a fourth round grade.
Right, he's right. He just
Cade Stover
sucks.
Come on.
What they are there for a reason, and we are second place to that team up north for 3 years for a reason.
So what are we looking at here?
We're looking
Another
at
tackle.
We're looking at the dude that's bringing Perrier water to number 9.
No, I meant like who are we drafting, sir?
I'm saying these ain't none of them are gonna do anything. Fuck. I don't even know. I know the Ohio State player, but that ain't good. Shit. How about Auburn? That or another cornerback. So you can't.
Fourth round grade too.
Yeah.
There's the value pick here is
right.
There is no value pick.
There is no value pick.
Safety.
There is no
Jerry and
tomorrow.
Jones.
There is no value pick.
Jerry and Jones, the corner is the value pick.
Or you can take
Or the
that
tackle.
Dominique. Yeah, you take that
Cooney.
dude.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take the tackle. And then you double up on tackles.
Sure, why fucking not? It's
Yeah, you
free.
double up on that. You know they're gonna double up because that's what they do.
Right.
So
See.
no, they won't give you grades anymore. You gotta pay for grades.
Oh damn! How much
I
this
told
shit
you.
cost? $100?
Yes.
Fuck!
I told you they straight
I put it
tripping, bro.
as a job thing.
Let me
Oof.
download my image.
Oof.
All right, there you go. Oh, look, Jackson was a D. We can do the grade ourselves. D,
Right.
Sweat a D, Fisher an A, and Dominic Clooney an A. So
But
what was that? 4,
unfortunately,
8,
that's
1,
a
and 1.
fucking. That's
10,
a you're not a Rhodes
10,
Scholar.
10 divided by 4 is a 2.7 something. So
Right,
C.
you're a Dusty Rhodes Scholar.
Wow. But I'm gonna pull this up here because just for you,
You
Tavondre
shouldn't have.
Sweat YouTube, just so you can see his
How many?
highlight
How
reel.
many you
Because
done these? About 20 of them.
no, but I'm just saying. I mean, he's huge. He's quick as hell for his size. It's just that you gotta worry that he's gonna eat himself out of the league.
I try. I mean, them Texas dudes. Them dudes they're big, they're strong, they fast. Something happened though.
Mm-hmm.
Something always happened.
Yeah. I mean, again, highlights against Kansas State don't really, make me happy either. But
All right.
I don't know. They're gonna need a tackle that's fat. He would be there. He's probably gonna be there in one of those rounds. So there's that. So all right.
But I mean, for as far as the Bengals go, I mean, you definitely got to make that front. The offensive line has to be better. The defensive line has to be better.
Right.
And
And again,
if those things stay the way they are, we playing
it
for third.
feels like a beefy draft, a meaty man draft. But you never know with the Bengals, honestly. You
Right.
never know.
If we can get all the get Brock Bowers, keep T, all that shit. But if that front five still is what we had the last couple of years, old boy's taking 45 to 60 sacks if he survives.
Mm-hmm. I'm scrolling to make sure I didn't miss anything to somebody sign while we
run for
record.
1 fucking yard on 3rd and short.
Yeah. Hold on. Just scrolling. Yes, we did see that Aaron whatever, Donald retired, only 2 years too short.
3 great plays too late.
Yes, and they've been run. That's just 2 times that I've seen that freaking Super Bowl on NFL Network in the last 24 hours.
All I see is fucking number 9 getting spun around like a top on that last fucking play. He should just throw the ball out or something.
But also think about it like that too. That rarely gets talked about. Like his leg was hurt too from earlier in the game, so he didn't have his mobility was gone too.
Right.
So
they weak or whatever. But that's another thing. That's my other point I was going to bring up. Motherfucker, we need to draft a head coach.
Well, that's not going to happen. So
right. That's unfortunately the last 4 or 5 seasons has been Brainiac versus Brainiac.
Yeah.
Or the best player ever.
Well, I mean, I think you're in a situation where you need the system and the great quarterback to make up for the whatever coach. I mean, I'm not comparing him in the long run or whatever. This was the Andy Reid problem. You know what I mean? Like he had the players, but he couldn't get over the hump for the longest time because he just outthunk himself. But when he got a great quarterback, somehow now he's a fucking genius.
Well, it's synergy, both of them together. But shit, Andy Reid made a whole bunch of average motherfuckers look good in the regular season.
Right.
In the playoff, but they were good in the regular season. Really good in the regular season.
Right.
and unfortunately, the two dudes in front of our head coach
Mm-hmm.
are good enough in the regular season to win 9 or 10 games,
Right.
and we got to figure out a way to get 11 or 12
Right. So,
and
okay.
three off
Well,
of and 2 or 3 off of them.
that's it for now. We might get a emergency pod. Even if they sign, the only way I'm doing an emergency pod is if they trade for Justin Jefferson at this point.
Or,
Uh,
or
there's no
Tunzel.
anybody else is going to be anybody else that they pick is or they sign is just going to be like, well, they needed that. It's not going to be like, oh shit. But I mean, again, something like that would be like, oh my god, we gotta do whatever. So we'll see how it goes. It said that number 9 should be throwing by May. It's already able to lift, which is kind of weird. You would think that
I hope somebody.
lifting.
Well, I hope somebody that's not. I hope you somebody driving to the places. I
Well,
hope
I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and then, again, we've made all the jokes in the last 20 years about the Bengals medical staff. I'm sure he's smart enough to have had somebody else handle his rehab and everything else and just paid for it out of pocket.
Right.
So,
Shit. For then Jamar Chase might have been the smartest doctor we had
right. So,
last season.
yes,
He
he
should have
knew.
sat him out a couple of games.
Yeah, he should have stayed out.
Genius with a
But
J.
all right, so we'll be back pretty much before the draft, unless something happens. Some pick here and there as we get close to the season. I've been doing these state of the Bengals things. I have one more locked and loaded on. Everybody's like, "Oh, we'll let T go and get a wide receiver out of free agency." Um, One, Bengal wide receiver free agents, not great. Two, draft another one, also not great. Better
Everything
at
Mark
drafting.
Madison.
Well, I'm talking in the modern, because you can't give Zach Taylor or Marvin the credit for TJ and Chad. He gets to Chris Henry, yes, and he gets Mo Sanu and the other guy that wound up in Detroit. Like, you get those guys, but the rest of it, oh, wasteland. Then he gets Tyler Boyd. He was there for 17 years, so he gets AJ. Anybody could have made. AJ Green was going to be good wherever you put him.
Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah, Martin Jones. Yeah, you get credit for like 6, but the rest of them dudes, because there's a lot of them, because they kept trying to draft wide receivers in latter rounds, and
No, that our lucky number 8, where we could have got our yeah, that motherfucker,
yeah,
with the
well,
speed demon.
yes, John Ross. Ooh, all right. So anyway, all right, y'all. So we'll see you on the other side of this. Who day? Hutch, say goodnight.
Peace and Middle East.
All right, everybody. We'll see you. Peace.